Hey everybody, Dan Bressler with the Autism Resource Center at Options and Advocacy for McHenry County, coming to you today with another quarantine tutorial. Before we get into that, I want to thank those of you who have already gone to our survey and given us some feedback on what you'd like to see. It's already started to impact what trainings and tutorials we are planning to do in the future, so I really appreciate it. If you haven't done that yet, I'm going to put a link right down here. It's tinyurl.com/TTYEAML. You can go to that. It's 3 questions. It'll take you less than 3 minutes, and it really helps us out in figuring out what you all want to see from us. So we really appreciate it. All right, with that being said, I'm going to make my face smaller here, and we'll get right into today's tutorial. So today, I wanted to kind of go off what we talked about last time with pairing. If you haven't seen that, go to our YouTube channel, check that out. It's a really important thing to be thinking about, especially during spring break here before we get back into the e-learning business next week. But pairing is something that you do for periods of time. You can't be pairing with your child all the time because sometimes we do need to be placing demands on our children and telling them what they need to be doing. So pairing is something that happens 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes at a time. Today's tutorial is about something that you can be doing all the time, and it's really important to do. And it'll help you develop a really positive relationship with your child, which will help out a lot when we get to next week and we really need to be getting them to do schoolwork and everything else that's going to start next week. So today we're going to be talking about something called catch goods, and it's all about this idea that the things that we feed are the things that are going to grow. So if we want the good positive behaviors to grow, that's what we really need to be focusing on in our children. And if we're only talking to them when they're doing negative things or we're giving them constructive feedback, ultimately that's probably what's going to end up growing, and we're going to see more of those behaviors that we really don't want to see. So let's get right into it here. So this is all about focusing on the positive. In an ideal world, if we kept a scorecard of everything that we said to our children, and column A was all the positive things, all the compliments, all the I'm proud of you for, I love how you did that, those sorts of things, and column B was all of the more negative things, constructive things, stop doing that, be quiet, those sorts of things. We want column A, those positive statements, to really outweigh the negative statements throughout the day. And so the easiest way to work on that is to really, really work hard to try to catch them being good all on their own. Not when you've told them to do anything. Maybe you're working from home and they're quietly occupying themselves. They're playing on the iPad, they're playing with their toys and not bothering you, giving you some space to work. It's really important, even though sometimes we don't want to jinx it, it's really important to take a second and say, hey, I love how you're playing so quietly. That's really helpful. Thanks for that. It can be that simple. But really finding opportunities to catch them doing those things, it helps to teach them what behaviors we're expecting from them and hoping to see from them. Sometimes that's not, many children pick up on that expectation sort of implicitly, but many of our friends with autism don't. They need that really direct, explicit statement of, this is what I love that you're doing right now. Thanks for doing that. Way to go. Doing this also sort of builds up in children the idea that they are good, that they do things well. And that attitude really helps them be successful in the future. A lot of times kids will live up to what they believe our expectations are of them. So if they think that we think that they're awesome and that they're going to do the right thing, that inspires in them the desire to do the right thing. If their perception is that we are always on their back, we're always telling them what they're doing wrong, then a lot of children do learn, whether we mean to teach them this or not, they learn that they're really not able to do the right thing. They really don't do the right thing most of the time. And either way, whether they believe that they're good kids who do the right thing, or they believe that they're bad kids who don't do the right thing, those beliefs can be self-fulfilling prophecies, right? So the folks who think that they're good people who do the right thing often end up doing the right thing just because they believe that about themselves. And that's really what we want to get at. This spring break week is a great time to work on this because we don't need to be setting super solid expectations. We can be a little bit more loosey-goosey this week before we get back to the school expectations. And so we can have more opportunities to just focus on the positive, to not be on their back telling them that they need to be doing something or what they're doing wrong. And ultimately, when we do this, when we focus on the positive, when we make a point to catch kids being good, it leads to the behaviors that we want to see, those good things that we're pointing out, increasing. And the natural side effect of that is some of those more problematic behaviors that we don't want to see end up decreasing. So these statements, these catch goods, don't need to be complicated. It seems unnatural at first for many people. I know it does for me. But as we practice this, it does become a more natural part of the way that we interact with children. So really try to find, maybe set a goal for yourself. Maybe it's, I want to find something positive to say once every 15 minutes or once every 30 minutes. And really try to keep to that. A lot of times we can find positive things even when it seems like nothing's going on. And that's really important in terms of shaping children's views of themselves and shaping our view of our relationship with our child. And that relationship that we're building through pairing, through these catch goods, is really what's going to serve as the foundation for some of these e-learning schoolwork expectations, and even just the daily living things that we are all facing with children as we are trying to stay in our homes. Many of us are working from home. And so it just presents a lot of new expectations, new relationship dynamics within our families. And these concepts are really what's going to help us through that. So I hope that this was a useful idea for you today. I hope that you find an opportunity every day to spend a few minutes pairing. Check out that last video for that. And I hope that you do focus every day on finding positive things to say and saying more positive things than constructive or negative things. So again, go ahead and go to that link down in, let's see, where is it? Over on this side of your screen, tinyurl.com/TTYEAML. Let us know what you'd like to see in the future, and have a great day.